is requested to be seated. A great freedom fighter, Nelson Mandela, once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Or, as our own Chanakya said, education is the best friend. Education is not just about acquiring knowledge, it's about personal growth, character development, and making a positive impact on the world. Congratulations to all the graduates. A very warm welcome and good morning to all the distinguished guests, parents, guardians, faculty members, and staff of IBS, and our dear seniors. Welcome to the 29th Convocation ceremony of IBS Pune, class of 2026. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our honorable chief guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia, Director, AI Innovation and Automation. Guest of honor for the occasion, Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabudde, Senior Director, India Head Wholesale Lending Tech at Barclays. They are accompanied on the dais by our Senior Director, Professor Jyoti Tirak, Director Placements, Professor Saumitra Samadar, and Academic Coordinator, Dr. Anupama. We request our Senior Director, Professor Jyoti Tirak, to welcome our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia, with a bouquet of flowers. Talent and skills are the crops that are nurtured, groomed, and given the opportunity to bloom and grow. Convocation Day is the celebration of the harvest of this crop. This is a much awaited event in every student's life. It is a day of joy, a day of pride, and a day of celebration.
It gives a sense of achievement and also a sense of responsibility, fulfilling further commitment. It is a day of mixed feelings, to say goodbye to the comfort of college life and to march to the beat of the business world. It is also a proud moment for parents and guardians to witness their kin achieve yet another milestone in their life. Every auspicious occasion commences with invoking Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and wisdom. Saraswati Vandana is a beautiful and revered prayer dedicated to Goddess Saraswati. Continuing this tradition, we request our dignitaries to come forward for lighting the lamp and for the Saraswati Vandana. Request you all to rise for the Vandana. And I would like to invite Soumeshwari to recite the Vandana.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रान्वृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्कर प्रभृतिभिः देवै सदा वन्दिता सा मा पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा.
May Goddess Saraswati bless us with knowledge. Thank you, dignitaries. Request everyone to be seated. I request our Senior Director, Professor Jyoti Tilak, to kindly declare the convocation open.
I declare the 29th Convocation open.
May I now request Jyoti ma'am to address the gathering.
Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia, Guest of Honor, Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabudhe, Director Placements, Professor Samadar, Dean and Academic Coordinator, Dr. Anupama, distinguished guests from my illustrious fellow faculty colleagues from industry, academia, non-teaching staff of IBS Pune, ladies and gentlemen. Above all of us, a warm welcome to the proud parents and friends of the graduating class of IBS Pune who made it possible to attend this convocation today. I welcome all of you to the IBSBusiness School convocation. It's a much awaited and memorable day for the graduating students of IBS Pune as they begin an exciting journey into the world of business and management, which is more challenging than it was ever before. I greet the students of the class of 2026 who would be receiving their certificates for completing their course successfully. Like for all of us at IBS Pune, it is a day of celebration and fulfillment for your parents and family members. I'm sure that the values that you imbibed at IBS and the skills that you learned and sharpened here will help you in distinguishing your efforts in future and bringing you lots of recognition and respect. I'm very happy to report to the distinguished gathering here that IBS in general and IBS Pune in particular has worked very meticulously in preparing the students in every possible known way for the year ahead. In the wake of the unprecedented global challenges and the uncertainties of the AI that stare in our face, the industry landscape has changed beyond recognition. We are witnessing changes in the way we work, the way we live, the way we study, the way we communicate. There's also an occasion when we have to prepare ourselves for all the challenges unseen that are going to come our way. Today also happens to be an occasion to remember fondly our founder, Sri N.J. Yashasvi. His vision and untiring efforts have created the family of ICFI, consisting of universities, business schools, tech schools, law schools, and above all, an alumni count crossing almost 80,000 today. To our great founder and his work, we pay our respects. Since its inception in 1995, IBS has been one of the best schools in the country, providing excellent academic delivery and infrastructure to its students. Campuses located are at Pune, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Gurgaon, Kolkata, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Dehradun, and Jaipur, with an annual intake of more than 4,500 students. All these students offer 2-year full-time management program and prepare the students and equip them for successful corporate careers. Briefly about our curriculum, it is industry-oriented and is designed with the help of industry experts. Revised frequently, it aims to be valuable as well as contemporary. The case analysis is an important tool of our pedagogy. Analysis of wide range of cases in the classrooms aim at honing the problem-solving and decision-making skills of our students. Group assignments, case presentations are encouraged to foster teamwork. I'm very happy to inform the gathering here that IBS continues to remain one of the largest contributors of cases to the Case Center UK, with close to 6,000 cases being contributed by IBS alone. Only at Harvard Business School and INSEAD have contributed more. IBS cases are referred to in more than 800 business schools across 75 countries. Among other things, exposure to real working of the industry through a 14-week intensive summer internship program, probably the longest anywhere in Indian management education, mentoring by a distinguished faculty team, a corporate relations team working round the year, and regular stream of industry managers to the campus to interact with the students are testimony to the fact that we leave no stones unturned in preparing our students. At the end of the second semester, every student spends 14 weeks at the industry and completes an internship program under the supervision of a faculty and industry guide. Our faculty guides also visit the companies during this period to monitor their progress and program. The program culminates with the evaluation of the SIP by our industry experts and our alumni for awarding the best SIPs. For the class of 2025, 5 prizes, each of 15,000 rupees, were awarded for the best SIP by the IBS Alumni Federation. Besides the regular sessions, we invite industry guests into our student clubs, classrooms, for conducting motivational talks, certifications, grooming sessions, pact and impact sessions, case discussions, counseling by SIP guides, and finally, the placement team keeping track of industry requirements while building relationships with companies. IBS Pune has conducted more than a dozen certification courses for the senior batch of students. The students had to enroll for a minimum of 3 certifications over a 2-year program, and the syllabus was designed carefully with the help of experts, ranging from certifications in Power BI, analytics, Tableau, selling skills, language and English language, labor laws, advanced Excel, financial modeling, and many more. These were definitely very useful during the placements. In addition to the domain-specific courses, the student also undergoes almost 120 hours of training and practice in the area of personal effectiveness and soft skills. On the strength of these initiatives, we've had 99% placements this year also, equaling the 99% placement success that we've had for almost 5 years in a row. 185 companies have participated in our placement process this year. Dear students, you are beginning your professional journey. You're coming out of the protection that you've received from your families so far, both figuratively and financially. Soon you will find that working in an industry is like living in a different world altogether. We have equipped you with utmost sincerity and commitment to be able to face the challenges awaiting you. However, compared to the world that you are familiar with, the world now is going to be looking very, very different. Easy yet complex, predictable yet uncertain. You should be prepared for it. What you learned yesterday will have to be learned today, and new learnings will have to be undertaken for tomorrow. You should be ready to do this by being on your toes. The challenges that you face will be different and mightier than what your students had to handle. How do we start? In my opinion, you have to first accept every task that comes your way, however elementary it may sound to you, as part of your onboarding with all thought and seriousness and total enthusiasm. In the beginning, you will be noticed for your enthusiasm, your attitude of doing little work more than defined tasks, your creativity, your teamwork. You'll have to identify mentors who can and will help you learning, not only in your current job, but for shouldering higher responsibilities. All this will require you to be proactive, outgoing, and willing to walk an extra mile. This positive attitude and willingness to learn is something that will differentiate and distinguish you from others. You will get noticed for higher responsibilities when opportunities arise. You are more likely to transit faster to more demanding roles and bigger challenges. I am confident that you are armed with these and many more qualities through the training that you have received from your illustrious, sincere teachers and mentors at IBS Pune. Please remember that you are at a very interesting and critical phase in history. Despite the warlike situation globally, India is still very well respected and expected to lead in business and economics. You are the ones who can participate in leading this change to make this transition. Please follow through. You are armed with good wishes and blessings of your teachers, non-teaching staff at IBS Pune, besides your parents. Bring glory and happiness to yourself, your parents, your family, your institute, and your country. I wish finally to inform the honorable guests that 233 students of the class of 2025 are graduating today with the award of PGPM. Kindly bless them with your good wishes. I once again congratulate the class of 2025 and welcome this distinguished gathering to the convocation. Thank you. IBS Pune has been recognized and appreciated widely, but the biggest recognition is the thumbs up that we receive from students, their parents, and the recruiters. Today is the last time I'm going to address you as dear students. All of us, maybe the last time we address you as dear students. You are soon going to be partners in our endeavors. You are going to be part of our family. We now welcome you to our family as alumni. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, madam. It is always an inspiration to listen to you. The achievements of IBS Pune that you have talked about make us feel very proud of our institute. It really is a day of celebration. And truly, the business landscape is ever changing, ma'am. We are sure the graduating batch will keep your words in mind while on their journey to an illustrious future. We take great pride in welcoming our guest of honor for today's event, Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabudhe. Ma'am is the India Head of Banking and Lending Technology at Barclays, bringing over 22 years of global experience, leading technology organizations, driving large-scale transformations, and delivering innovation across the financial services industry. An engineering graduate from the Savitribai Phule Pune University, ma'am has built an accomplished career with some of the world's leading financial institutions, including JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Credit Suisse, and now Barclays. Throughout her career, she has successfully led complex transformation programs, modernized technology platforms, and delivered strategic business outcomes at scale. Her leadership highlights include scaling and leading a 600-person technology team and spearheading transformation programs with investments exceeding $100 million, driving significant business, operational, and technology impact across global organizations. Beyond her executive responsibilities, she is deeply committed to developing future talent. She is a passionate advocate for women in technology and early career development, actively mentoring emerging leaders and championing initiatives that promote inclusion, growth, and opportunity within the technology industry. A mother of two, ma'am believes in leading a well-rounded life grounded in continuous learning, resilience, and well-being. Outside of work, she enjoys fitness, dance, cooking, and marathon running, bringing the same energy, discipline, and determination to her personal pursuits as she does to her professional journey. Ma'am, may we request you to share your thoughts with us on this special occasion?
Good morning, everyone. When I heard that introduction, it just seemed a lot, but thank you very much. So firstly, good morning to the faculty who have shaped these bright minds. Good morning to the parents who have supported your kids throughout this journey. And of course, to the graduates who have survived the assignments, the exams, the group projects, and I would say the infamous group projects where one person does all the work and the rest five get credit for it, right? So congratulations. Today is your day. Can I get a round of applause for all of you all? Honestly, you all have earned every bit of it. If I were to ask you 2 years back what success meant to you, some of you would have said a great job, a big salary, a fancy designation, maybe a change in the LinkedIn title that said strategy consultant. So today you've actually crossed one milestone. You have a lot of milestones to go ahead. But in a few years, trust me, hardly people will ask you where you've graduated from, what's your degree, what's your percentage. They'll actually ask you what is the person that you've become? What kind of leader have you become? And that's what I'm going to talk to you today. People often introduce me as she leads banking and lending technology in Barclays. Sounds very polished. But what they don't tell you is before I came here, I was finding my daughter's shoes. I was dropping another daughter for a sports class. And I was telling my 13-year-old not to watch K-pop. So leadership comes in many forms. Sometimes it's leading teams across continents and managing large technology transformations that I've done through my career. But sometimes it's actually negotiating with a 13-year-old and telling her that physics is logical, and my children would write essays using AI, I would have laughed. But that's the exact point, right? The world changes faster than we can imagine. Now, the world that you're walking into, or rather entering the workforce, is one of the exciting moments in history. Artificial intelligence is changing the industry. Jobs are being reinvented. Business models are evolving. Some people are frightened. I find it very exciting. Every generation thinks like they're living through unprecedented change. For example, when I started my career, people said outsourcing would change everything. Then came smartphones, then came cloud computing, fintech, and now AI. Each wave has disrupted the previous one. But here's what has not changed. Companies still need people who can solve problems, people who they can trust, people who inspire teams. Technology changes, human nature doesn't. So don't be daunted with the world that you're getting into. Now, before I sort of give you some gyan based on my experiences in the corporate world, I like to sort of share some funny secret language of the corporate life, which probably your business school hasn't taught you, okay? So in corporate life, nobody says, I don't know. They say, let me get back to you. Nobody says, this isn't happening. They say, let me revisit it in the next quarter. Nobody says, I forgot. They say, it slipped through. And my personal favorite, a lot of people say, Sheetal, can I have a quick meeting with you, which will last for 90 minutes, and it's followed up with 3 other meetings. Now, what I'd like to sort of share with you is some things which I mentor a lot of sort of grads and students and all of that, and I sort of tell them these 5 or 6 things, so I'd like to sort of share those with you. Now remember, nobody knows everything. On your first day at work, you all think everyone else around you has figured out. No, they haven't. Every day, even after 20 years, I'm learning something completely new. Remember one thing, the people who succeed aren't the ones who know everything. They're the ones who aren't afraid to say, look, I don't know, I'll find out, I'm curious, and let me learn and come back. Second, as I said, it's daunting times for some of you because everybody is saying, look, AI is going to replace you. Every week, someone comes and asks me, will AI replace my job? Here's my answer. AI will absolutely replace some tasks that you do. It'll automate repetitive tasks. It will write reports. But AI won't replace the people who can think critically, communicate clearly, lead teams, and build trust. The real competition isn't AI. It's actually the person sitting next to you who knows how to use AI, whereas y'all are reluctant to use AI because you think that's going to replace your job. So don't resist it. Learn it. Treat it like the smartest intern you've ever had. It works incredibly fast. Sometimes gives brilliant answers and occasionally says something with such confidence that you wonder it's making it up. And not entirely different from some people in corporate meetings. Now, let me tell you something from the other side of the interview table. I've interviewed hundreds of candidates, some from the best universities, some with perfect GPA, some with technical brilliance. Do you know who I remember? I remember the ones who are very curious, the ones who've listened, the ones who've admitted they don't know something, the people who've asked thoughtful questions, the people who treated everyone, from the receptionist to the MD, with the same respect. Here's the truth. Companies hire skills, but they promote people with character. The people who rise the fastest aren't always the smartest. They're the ones people trust, the ones who make everyone around them better, the ones people say, I'd love to work with her again or him again, but that's the person. Now, social media, like I'm sure this generation uses social media a lot, has convinced us that success should happen before 30. Reality looks very different. Careers are marathons. Sometimes you'll get promoted very quickly. Sometimes you'll watch someone else next to you get an opportunity you wanted. Sometimes you'll fail. Sometimes you'll question yourself on the decision. But keep going. As I said, it's like a marathon. Some of my biggest opportunities came immediately after my biggest disappointment. Looking back, I would say the setbacks and the challenges taught me far more than the successes ever did. Now, the last bit that I want to talk about is especially important for me. Yes, I lead technology, and I lead a big team, and I worked globally and I manage multi-million-dollar portfolios and all of that. But I'm also a mother. I love traveling. I enjoy running. I paint. I read. Those aren't distractions from my career. They make my career better. Some of my ideas haven't actually happened in the meeting room or the boardroom. They've actually come while I was running in the morning. I was traveling somewhere or spending time with my children. So what I would say is, don't schedule every minute of your life. Take some time to nurture your hobbies and build on them. I have a little bit of a word for the women graduating today. I'd like to say something, and I wish someone had told me this earlier. You don't have to choose between being ambitious and being kind, between being successful and having a family, between leading and being authentic. Can you have it all? Maybe not at the same time. Some days work wins, some days family wins, some days your hobby wins, and sometimes Netflix wins. It's not about perfect balance. It's about making peace with life's seasons. Don't wait until everything is perfect before chasing your dreams. It never will be. Take the opportunity, speak up, ask for the promotion, volunteer for the difficult assignment. You belong in every room where decisions are being made. And if there's no chair, pull one up for you. I have sort of not taken a break at all in my 22 years of career. I'm a mother of 2 children. The maternity break during my time was just 3 months, and I still managed it all. As I said, it was never perfect, but I didn't give up. And this is a special message for all my sort of female students as such. Again, leadership isn't about having the loudest voice in the room or the biggest office or the fanciest title. Leadership is about making other people better. People don't remember every presentation you gave. They remember how you made them feel. Did you listen to them? Did you encourage them? Did you give credit? This is leadership. And I want you all to remember this as you all grow in your career. When I was younger, I thought success meant promotions. Today, I define it differently. Success is actually enjoying Monday mornings. Success is having people trust you. Success is still being curious after having worked for 20 years. Success is coming home after a long day and your children are excited to see you. No promotion has ever hugged me, my children have, that keeps success in perspective. Finally, closing my thoughts. Today, you leave with an illustrious degree from an illustrious college, but the degree is only your entry ticket. The rest depends on the choices you make every single day. Choose curiosity over certainty. Choose courage over comfort. Choose kindness over ego. Choose learning over knowing. And remember, 20 years from now, people don't remember your GPA. They won't remember your first salary. They probably even won't remember your job title. But they'll remember whether they trusted you, whether you inspired them, whether you made their workplace a little better because you were there. And finally, let me leave you with one thought that my children unknowingly remind me every day. When I walk through that front door, they don't care that I've spent the day discussing technology, strategy, and leading large teams. They don't care about my title. They don't care about my present. Life has a wonderful way of reminding us what truly matters. So build an extraordinary career, travel often, read wisely, stay healthy, laugh loudly, keep your hobbies, ensure you call your parents, spend time with your friends, and one day build a family that's what you choose. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. As Oscar Wilde said, the only thing permanent in life is change. Thank you, ma'am, for inspiring us to change, strengthen our leadership, and effectively manage stakeholders in today's ever evolving world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia, a distinguished IT and telecommunications business support systems professional with an illustrious career spanning some of industry's most renowned organizations, including TCS, Amdocs, Ericsson, HCL Technologies, and Bharti Airtel. Mr. Wadia possesses a strong academic foundation, holding a bachelor's degree in information technology, a postgraduate diploma in business administration, and a management development program certification in technology management from IIM Calcutta. His expertise include generative AI, conversational AI, data center and private cloud technologies, IT service management, automation, and application operations. Currently serving as a Director AI Innovation and Automation at Amdocs. He is at the forefront of developing telecom Gen AI and Ops GPT frameworks for leading telecom operators and driving the modernization of digital payment systems. Beyond his corporate accomplishments, Mr. Wadia is deeply committed to empowering the next generation of professionals. Through his active engagement with universities, engineering institutions, and management schools, he has consistently worked to bridge the gap between academic learning and corporate readiness. His vision aligns closely with India's aspiration of becoming a developed nation by 2047, inspiring students to become capable, innovative, and responsible leaders of tomorrow. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Himanshu Wadia. Sir, we now invite you to deliver the convocation address.
Good morning. Uh, while I have complete immense respect for all the people present in here, but my address today will be with the people in the people in the blue. I congratulate you all. I have this privilege of speaking with you for some time, and I'll try to deliver some examples. There have been brilliant things said by Ms. Sheetal just now, and I think she's rounded it up really, really nicely. I would like to give you a few examples. The speaker before me mentioned about Oscar Wilde, where he mentioned change is the only constant. I would just like to add on. I think for all of us, not just change, but learning is also the only constant. So these are the two constants of life in the world of AI, in the world of changing ways of looking at how things work. I think this is another constant, the second constant. Today we also ma'am mentioned about you being addressed as the students for the very last time today, and she would be addressing you from now on as the alumni of IBS Pune. I would like to also address you as from tomorrow as my fellow industry colleagues, and that's a big thing to say, because from tomorrow you'll not just carry the burden of yourself on your shoulders, but also the vision of the country of becoming a developed nation by 2047. I'll give you 3 examples today where we'll talk about leadership. We'll talk about how good leaders can change the dynamics. And I'll give you all the 3 examples from this very country of India. While E is equal to mc square, how many of us have heard E is equal to mc square? Albert Einstein is the very important theory, but has it impacted Himanshu's life? Has it impacted your life? No. But has a person like Dr. Verghese Kurian impacted your life, who brought in the white revolution into India? Have people like APJ Abdul Kalam changed your life? The answer is yes. And I will talk about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam along with another person that I idolize in my life, which is Sam Bahadur Manekshaw. So there's a very interesting conversation that happened between APJ Abdul Kalam and Sam Manekshaw, in which Sam mentioned in Wellington Hospital, where before he passed away, APJ Abdul Kalam on way from Rameshwaram visited him, and he said, "Sam, is there anything that I can do for you?" Sam, in his typical military humor, said, "Yes, you can do a lot. I have never received pension after I retired." It was the typical Indian bureaucracy mismanagement that Sam Manekshaw never received his pensions after he retired. Today is 27th September, or 27th of June. 27th of June is the day in 2007 when Sam Manekshaw passed away. Why he did not receive his pensions also has a story for all of us to learn. Sam Manekshaw was one of the most prolific military generals India has ever seen, Indian Army has ever seen. He was the orchestrator of the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. There was a glorious movie made on Sam Manekshaw that gave a few facts, and in its typical Bollywood masala, gave a few fictional things also, but I'll tell you a story. He was very close to my grandfather, who served in the Indian Army. Like I said, he was the orchestrator of the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. The Prime Minister at that point of time was Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi wanted to stop the infiltration of East Pakistani citizens into India. This was late 1970s. And she wanted Sam and the Indian Army to make sure Bangladesh was liberated by June and July of 1971. She went to Sam, brought him into a conference room with a lot of people, with the defense minister, then defense minister, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Sam had the courage of saying no to Indira Gandhi. He said that a war cannot happen in the month of June and July, because one very important thing happens in the month of June and July in India, which is the Indian monsoons. When the monsoons happen, the Bangladesh and the northeast of India becomes a marshland. The rivers flood, and that becomes impossible for any army to intrude into a foreign capital and make it liberated. He had the courage of saying no. This is the same time when a lot of coups were happening. There were coups in Sri Lanka, there were coups in Myanmar, there was coups in Pakistan, which is kind of norm today. The army was taking over. This was the time when Indira Gandhi actually became scared of this gentleman. And while Sam Manekshaw orchestrated the 71 war, he defined that in 20 days, Dhaka will be captured and will be liberated by the Indian army. It was done in 13 days. That is meticulous planning, but it was on Sam's conditions. Sam's conditions were that he will do it in the month of December. When the monsoons go away, the roads get settled. Army doesn't travel by distance, it travels by displacement. I'm sure you would have all heard about this concept in your physics of class 10. It doesn't go by roads. It doesn't say that from A to B, this is the route we'll take. If they will go by displacement. If there's a river, they'll cross the river. They'll create bridges right over that and cross the river and intrude in. It was meticulously done in 13 days. This was the first decisive victory the world saw after the Second World War. There has not been a decisive victory or defeat in the Russia-Ukraine war that has been going on for the last 4 years. So having a decisive war victory is something the world never saw after the Second World War of 1945. But what does it have to do with the pension that Sam Manekshaw did not receive? Indira Gandhi, like I said, became afraid of the coups that were happening around and thought that Sam will outthrow her and take over the reins of the country, which Indian Army, you would all know, has the principles and the morals of never doing it. It will never coup an existing running democratic government. In a interview just after this 1971 victory, it was an interview of Sam Manekshaw on BBC taken by Karan Thapar. Very jokingly, Karan Thapar asked him that while in 1947, Muhammad Ali Jinnah gave Sam Manekshaw an option of joining the Pakistani army, he very jokingly asked Sam Manekshaw what would have happened if Sam decided to be a part of Pakistan in 1947. To which he replied in his typical military humor that the borders would have been different. This offended Indira Gandhi, and she ensured Sam dies in poverty and never receives his pension after he retires. This, coming back to what Abdul Kalam, when he visited him on his deathbed, he said, "What I can do for you, Sam?" And he said, "Can I get my pensions?" Abdul Kalam flew back from Wellington in Tamil Nadu down to New Delhi in 3 days, got a check, 2007, September, of 1 crore and 5 lakh rupees as his dues of pension, flew back to Wellington, handed that check over to Sam Manekshaw. That was the power of leadership. That was the power of one leader treating the other leader with respect. But the story doesn't end here. The story is Jehan Manekshaw, who was Sam Manekshaw's son, grandson, he was standing right next to him. Sam asked him to bring in a checkbook. The check of 1 crore 5 lakh rupees, APJ Abdul Kalam handed over to Sam Manekshaw. Sam Manekshaw wrote a check of 1 crore 5 lakh 1 rupees for the Army Widows Welfare Fund and handed over to APJ Abdul Kalam to donate it in the Central Command in New Delhi. This is what leadership is. Choosing a right leader for you people in the blue today, in the next few years, while you become the leaders of tomorrow and you have the opportunity of selecting leaders, is very, very important. We all have heard about the 1857 First War of Independence. We have all heard of it. Punjab, at that point of time, I come from the state of Punjab. Punjab at that point of time was not the current Punjab. It was Pakistani Punjab, Indian Himachal Pradesh, and Indian Haryana combined. So it was as big a country at that point of time, independent country, because we were sort of multiple kingdoms within the country. It was bigger than Iran right at that point of time. It was the only state in India, or only kingdom in India, which had the access to gunpowder, which rest of India was still very valiantly fighting with swords and bows and arrows, while Punjab had the access to gunpowder and they had guns. But in 1857, Punjab did not participate in the first War of Independence. A few of you might be knowing about this, but why did Punjab not participate? If they had gunpowder, they could have eliminated East India Company in 1857, and probably the history of India would have been different. Had the Britishers not ruled India for 200 years, India would have been a different country. How many of us agree? We all do. But why did Punjab not participate? The Punjab did not participate because of one reason. Anyone knows who was the leader chosen by all the people, all the kingdoms of India? Tipu Sultan, Rani Lakshmi Bai, Tatya Tope, all of them selected one leader who would be the head of the revolt of 1857. Anyone who can tell me who it was? It was Bahadur Shah Zafar, absolutely. And who was Bahadur Shah Zafar? Bahadur Shah Zafar was the son of Aurangzeb, who executed the 9th Guru of Sikhs, Guru Tegh Bahadur. Can you ever choose to be in a leader, under a leader whose father executed your father? The choice of leader of 1857 war was the problem where India, which could have been liberated or independent of the British rule in 1857, was stuck for another 90 years. So choosing, second example, choosing the right leader in your careers is very, very important. It can change the face of the organization that you work, the state that you work in, and the country that you operate out of. So two things from the history of India. I know you haven't liked history as a subject, all of you, but I think it's the time when you also understand that history and understanding and learning from history is very, very important for all of us. There's a third example of leadership that I will also give you, and how it changes the course of your decision making. It's not an example from the history, it's an example from the corporate life. I happened to spend about 11 years of my life working on and off with Bharti Airtel while I was a part of Ericsson and a part of Amdocs. 11 years of my life with Bharti Airtel, and Bharti Airtel is Sunil Bharti Mittal, the orchestrator of the organization. The huge organization started off from India. It was one of Sunil Bharti Mittal's town halls. I was very gladly in the second row listening to him. It was just post the launch of the Airtel Payments Bank in 2018, 2019 that he addressed all of us. He told us the story of Sunil Bharti Mittal himself. The story of Sunil Bharti Mittal first was that his father was an influential guy. He was from Ludhiana in Punjab. Punjab was known as the industrial capital of India at one point of time. Even till today, 95% of all the cycles that are manufactured in India are manufactured in Ludhiana. I'm sure you would have done a few case studies in your management. Now, Sunil's father took Sunil to Pawan Munjal, the owner of the Hero Group. And like a typical father, he said, "Lo, mera beta graduate ho gaya hai, lagao isko bhi kuch kaam pe." And Sunil Mittal, the Pawan Munjal said that I do entire parts of cycle manufacturing in India, but the gear, the garari of the cycle, I import it from BSA in the UK. If Sunil can make that quality of gear in India, I'll be very happy to purchase those gears from Sunil Mittal. So his father gave him a loan of 40,000 rupees. Along with him, he took him on the way home to an astrologer. And the astrologer looked at Sunil's face and said, "You can be successful. Start using your mother's name as your middle name." That's how Sunil Mittal became Sunil Bharti Mittal. With that 40,000 rupee loan, he started off manufacturing those gears in India. Very successfully started becoming the most successful supplier, not just for Hero Group, but also for A1 cycles. So these were the two places that he started supplying. And then how did he enter telecom? Few years later, while he was successfully making those gears, Beetle Telecom of Japan came into India. And he said that while they approached Sunil Bharti Mittal and his organization, when he said that while you are making those gears for the cycles, can you make it in a smaller form factor for the rotary phones? It's exactly the same mechanism for rotary phones, just in a smaller form factor. That is how Sunil Bharti Mittal started making those gears in a smaller form factor, started supplying it to Beetle Telecom. 6 years later, bought Beetle Telecom, got into those button phones, then into cordless phones, got into 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. Now, Bharti Airtel, we know Airtel as Airtel India, the only organization in the wave of Jio's onslaught of 2016, where it came in, started giving the services free. There has not been a business school ever, including Harvard's or MIT, which has taught the students on how to deal with a competitor that gives its services for free. We've all been taught on how to deal with a competitor that gives the services for 80% of your cost, 50% of your cost. But how do you deal with a competitor that gives the services for free? There were 21 telecom operators in India. There was Aircel, there was Uninor, there was Telnor, Spice Telecom. They all became bankrupt. And what it led to was the market consolidation of telecom in India moving towards red. We have very less number of players, 4 of them right now, one Vodafone Idea that merged together to become a disaster, the number 3 telecom, and probably the defunct BSNL at this point of time. While Vodafone Idea is a different case study that we'll talk about, but as of right now, we understand we are into a market which is duopoly from 21 operators. In a duopoly, it is you, me, and rest of the customers of India who suffer. Price rises have been common in the last few years. The average revenue per user, which is a very important KPI for the telecom industry to track, that has gone to the roof. Jio, while it started off saying that it's very cheap, good services, it is the most expensive telecom operator in India now. Coming back to Sunil Mittal, how did he survive the Jio onslaught? Again, it is purely strategy. While we know Bharti Airtel as Airtel India, you should also know that Bharti Airtel is the second biggest telecom operator in Sri Lanka. It is the biggest broadband provider in Bangladesh. Airtel operates in 14 countries in Africa, countries as small as Burkina Faso and Sierra Leone, which we don't even see on the map of Africa, and countries as big as Nigeria and Niger. It also owns 40% of Singtel, Singapore Telecom. Singapore Telecom in turn owns 33% of Optus Telecom in Australia. Optus Telecom in lieu owns 40% of Telefonica Telecom in Argentina, Peru, Brazil, and Chile. Sunil Bharti Mittal also, or the Bharti Group, also owns 24.5% of British Telecom. So while Mr. Ambani would like to call himself as the telecom czar of India, the actual telecom czar of India would be the guy who started it off from scratch, building telecom as one of the potent superpowers that emerged from this country, India. So respecting local heroes, respecting people like I mentioned, Dr. Burgess Kurian, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Sam Manekshaw, Sunil Bharti Mittal also is on top of the list of people that we should understand and learn from. Talking about another example from telecom, the Vodafone Idea merger. It was a marriage we all understood as telecom people. That was a marriage that was supposed to end in a divorce. It was like a very process-driven, very European Vodafone marrying a typical Indian Marwadi operator. With, again, no disrespect to how Indian businesses work, but it was a very Marwadi operated business. And if that merged, imagine Queen Elizabeth marrying someone from Jharkhand. It's very similar. Very process-oriented. It was a marriage that was bound to fail. The number 3 was Vodafone, which was very strong in tier 1 circles, while Idea, because owing to, if you remember those days of what an Idea Surgery campaigns, it targeted tier 3 towns. That merger of the number 3 operator and number 4 operator in India, merging to be the biggest operator in India, then eroding to number 2, and then eroding to number 3, and currently Vodafone and Idea individually have lesser number, Vodafone and Idea combined have lesser number of subscribers what Vodafone used to have at one point of time and what Idea used to have at one point of time. So that's a case study of what not to do in leadership. Bad decisions can change the course of not just countries, but organizations, and more importantly, the people who work in those organizations. The people who work on those organizations are people like you and me. I called you industry colleagues because you're going to be industry colleague, my industry colleague from tomorrow. In the world of AI, things are going to be faster. Like what Ms. Sheetal mentioned, re-evolution is the key. We all have to re-evolve ourselves. On the way yesterday from the airport to my hotel, we had a very interesting conversation where we were talking about, we all have learned Hindi in our schools. A se anar, A se aam, Ka se kabutar, Tha se Thatera. What is Thatera? Thatera was a person who used to tap and make those vessels. Thatera, tha 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 karke, they used to make those vessels. Have those people vanished after the Industrial Revolution came in? But did that Thatera die of poverty or hunger? No. He reinvented himself. We are all, including myself and the people on the dais, we are the Thateras of tomorrow. We all will have to reinvent ourselves in the world of AI. There are no two options. There will be people with AI who will outpower the people without AI. This is what Ms. Sheetal mentioned, and that's absolutely spot on. People with AI will outpower the people without AI. It is the reality of today, and it is the reality of tomorrow. Guys, from the longest period of time, humans have always been on the top of the food chain, right? We've always had that alter ego of being at the top of the food chain. We can control big animals like elephants. We can control furious animals like tigers and leopards. We always had to be on the top of the food chain. But I think the times are going to change. And the biggest challenge that we will have to give up as humans is to give up on the ego of being at the top of the food chain. There would be and there could be machines at the top of the food chain, and humans could be one of the participants of the food chain. The earlier we absorb it and earlier we start understanding and giving up our egos of not to take an instruction from a machine, the easier it will be for us. What have cruise controls in the cars done to us? What have automatic cars done to us? They have made us dependent. It is a time for us to be dependent for code, for strategy, for the management way forward on machines while we participate in that food chain as one of the participants. This is little hard for all of us, including myself, to digest, but for me, that is going to be the reality of 2030. It's not going to be the reality of 2050. The quicker we give up on this ego, the better will be for us to be working with AI. Geopolitics, we touched upon that briefly, is changing the face of today. That was also kind of expected. In the year of 2024, 2025, there were 124 countries that were supposed to go into elections. So 2025 and 26 being unstable was kind of expected, but was known by very few people. The all the parameters around crude oils, around gold being skyrocketing, this was all kind of understood. The reality of today is that we have to get everything done yesterday. Gone are the times when the people in the front rows and on the dais, when a project was assigned to all of us, we used to ask, when is this project supposed to be delivered? The answer now for the people in blue is the project had to be delivered yesterday. You're already late. How to do it is to effectively use the artificial intelligence, pace up your work, make your work accurate, make your work the best in the class. Remember, leaderships come and go, but the leadership style remains. Leadership style will be your way to go. Always remember two things. Two last things before I call it off. When you're leading a team of 20 people in your near future, remember you're not leading a team of 20 people, you're leading a team of 20 careers. Their careers and their growth in their careers is your responsibility as a leader. The second thing, when you lead a team of 20 people, you're not leading a team of 20 people, you're leading a team of 20 families. Their families' happiness, prosperity is your responsibility as well. Mark these two principles in your life to become successful leaders of 2047. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful session on the importance of choosing the right leader, embracing continuous learning, and leading with respect and humility. Your examples of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw and Mr. Sunil Mittal Bharti truly inspire us. Ladies and gentlemen, the college yearbook is a cherished collection of memories from the college days. It is, for any student, a prized possession whose value increases with the passing years. We now request the dignitaries on the dais to unveil the yearbook 2026. There is a copy of yearbook for every one of you. It will be given to you at the end of the convocation. आज का दिन आपकी मेहनत और समर्पण का प्रतिफल है। आप सभी को आपके उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं। Congratulations to all of you. On this about to receive your certificates, we take pride in your achievements. You have demonstrated hard work, discipline, and dedication. This certificate is a testament to your efforts and accomplishments. We believe that you will reach even greater heights in the future. May I now request our Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia, our Guest of Honor, Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabuddhe, Professor Jyoti Tilak, Professor Soumitra Samadar and Dr. Anupama to step forward to present the certificates. I request may I call upon the stage may I call upon the stage first name Deshpande Pawan Shrikant. Yadav Shailesh Ram Prasad. Akshay K. Vinayak Shenoy. Jayesh Ronald Epka. Yuvraj Prataprao Desai. Lisha Mukesh Sarkar. Gupte Sarvesh Subhash. Rudra Prasad Patra. Piyush Deshmukh. Ajay Shirke. Mrunmai Khairnar. Let's give a huge round of applause to Mrunmai Spirit. Hitanshu Mishra. Crowd, can you please give a round of applause to all the certificates. Chaudhary Krishna Hemant. Khushi Naresh Hirani. Jivisha Parmar. कंजारिया भरत भाई चेरम भाई. अनन्या दयेश आंगले. हिमांगी नागर. चांदनी जैन. अश्विन कुमार. रोशन महापात्रो. जितिन फिलिप. येवते प्रथम राजकुमार. श्रेष्ठ. खंडारे सलोनी दीपक राव. रौनक चांडक. गलांडे वैष्णवी प्रकाश छाया. Thank you, sir.
May I request Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabudhe to distribute the next set of certificates. Miss Krisha, Miss Khushi Mittal, Miss Apurva Kulkarni, Miss Krisha Mawani, Mr. Anirban Malik, Mr. Tejas Anil Bansal, Mr. Ritik Bharadwaj, Mr. Kshitij, Mr. Shashwat, Miss Khushbu Neema, Miss Prerna Banginwar, Mr. Rajesh Rokde, Miss Riya Chandra, Mr. Karthik Raj, Mr. Umang Mundra, Mr. Ravindra Ugade, Mr. Rajvardhan Ahire, Miss Gauri Kadam, Ms. Shruti Jadhav. Mr. Harshit Kumar. Mr. Abhay Pratap Singh. Mr. Abhishek Nath. Mr. Ashutosh Pandey. Mr. Gagan Yadav. Ms. Priyanshi Maheshwari. Mr. Sujal Dongre. Mr. Linga Vishnu. Mr. Fanivardhan. Mr. Dhanush Karthik. Thank you, ma'am.
I request Professor Jyoti Tilak to distribute the next set of certificates. Budayagiri Vasudatta. Kathade Siddhesh Madhu Sachita. Balsurkar Ritish Somnath. Kabra Madhur Vijay Bhai. Patel Gautam Mansukh Bhai. Radhika Jhavar. Sulagna Nayak. Shreya Laskar. Shravani Gunjar. Soumya Prakash Sinha. Vidya Sawant. Dipanshi Rai. Shivani Avasthi. Shivani Avasthi. Yash Shantaram Galande. Rituban Basu. Neha Karki. Tej Deore. Doshi Anshul Mehul. Aryan Patel. Patel Smith Bharat Bhai. Rahangale Pankaj Ramakrishna. Abhiraj Pawar. Devre Khushali Yogesh. Shubhranjan Sinha. Mayuresh Sonar. Sudeshna Sarkar. Swarna Manjri Padi. Doifode Tanvi Anil. Thank you, ma'am.
I I request Professor Soumitra Samadar to distribute the next set of certificates. Pednekar Purva Narayan. Devyani Chandan Bose. Kushi Mundekar. Soumyaranjan Acharya. Ajay Kharde. तळे ज्ञानेश्वरी गजानन. बुंदेले श्रुती राजेश. मीशा खुराना. जयेशा कांबळे. वंश खन्ना. अनिकेत पाठक. शाह आरोही जपन कुमार. सोनी प्रिया कौशिक कुमार. मंडोले कौस्तुभ राजेश. तनु वत्स. रमन रे. अभिजीत की. प्रियांशु सिंह. भरत बोथरा. महक गुप्ता. Aditi Gupta. Rajvi Khanna. Isha Inamdar. Dhruv Hire. Oshin Tiwari. Rahul Bhatia. Vaibhav Mola. Naresh R. Thank you, sir.
I request Dr. Anupama Tadmarla to distribute the next set of certificates. Ms. Rashmi Chajer. Ms. Amisha Sahu. Ms. Kamini Hivre. Ms. Praniti Thakur. Mr. Priyank Singh. Mr. Sayyam Dua. Mr. Manas Sankhe. Mr. Akash Thakur. Mr. Akash Pandey. Mr. Mohammad Ibrahim Hussain, Mr. Dipesh Kumar Patel, Miss Honey, Miss Sibani Mishra, Mr. Yash Rathi, Mr. Nandakishore Verma, Mr. Vijay Anjikhane, Miss Iram Sheikh, Miss Prerna Migeri, Mr. Shashwat Chandilia, Mr. Chaitanya Rathi, Miss Vedashri Zakate, Miss Sushmita Bhandari, Mr. Aman Pathak, Miss Mansi More, Miss Tanvi Jain, Mr. Nanda SM, Mr. Varun Sahu, Mr. Varun Sahu, Mr. Krishna Lad, Thank you, ma'am. I request the dignitaries to keep standing for the distribution of the awards. Now is the moment to acknowledge excellence. We celebrate the top achievers of the class of 2026. I request our guest of honor, Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabudhe, to do the honors for the silver medal. The silver medal and a cash prize of rupees 10,000 for the batch of 2026 goes to, any guesses? Congratulations, Mr. Tejas Bansal. And now, for the most prestigious award, the NJY Gold Medal. May I request Mr. Himanshu Wadia to do the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely proud and delighted to announce that the gold medal and a cash prize of rupees 20,000 on securing the first rank in the PGPM class of 2026 goes to, any guesses? Congratulations, Ms. Neha Karki. Let's have a huge round of applause for the winners. Thank you, dignitaries, for doing the honors. We request you to take your seats.
As a mark of our appreciation, I request Professor Soumitra Samadas sir to present a memento to our chief guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia. I request Dr. Anupama ma'am to present a memento to our guest of honor, Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabudhe. We request Dr. Anupama Tadmarla to propose a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. All are hungry. First thing first, I know that I'm the last formal hurdle. No, so I will not test your patience nor your appetite. I will not take too long at all. Okay, that's my promise from my end. So let's start. Today we gather not just to hand out our degrees, but to celebrate years of effort, the late night preparations, the friendships, and the quiet determination that brought the class of 2026 to this stage. It's a moment of pride for students, parents, and faculty, and for every person who believed in this journey. We are honored to share it with you all. A convocation of this magnitude doesn't just happen, it is built piece by piece by people who care deeply about doing things right. Every team, every volunteer, every staff member who worked behind the curtain, and they turned the logistics into magic and the date on the calendar into a lifelong memory. Let me begin by expressing our gratitude to our chief guest, Mr. Himanshu Wadia. Sir, in this wonderful and the world full of AI noise, your clarity stood out. We are very grateful for being here and for sharing the thoughts, but also the lessons, actually how the students can take forward. I'll share some of the points. I hope every student will take them from today. How change and learning are constant to us. How the decisive victories to the power of leadership, to the opportunity of choosing leaders, and how to deal with the competitors and how bad decisions can affect the company. So how AI can outpower the conventional methods and the revolution in terms of the staying afloat along with the AI is the key aspect. Thank you, sir, once again. I also want to thank Ms. Sheetal Sahasrabuddhe for gracing us today. Thank you, ma'am. Some of the significant points she has shared with us, from managing to the family to the corporate world, and how world changes from AI, and even when the lot of waves have disrupted the corporates or the world, but how the change can always make us strive together and move forward, and how AI cannot replace you. We appreciate, ma'am, for sharing your thoughts. Also, in the room full of achievers, this is a reminder is powerful. It tells us that the setbacks are just the data, not the definitions. Now, the two people who lived this convocation for the last few months, a big round of applause to Dr. Sardar Patil and Nitin Joshi. Coordinating with so many committees, managing 1,000 moving parts, and still keeping the momentum, and to the entire IBS family that stood with you. To our departments, starting with the admin, AMC, placements, SSD, accounts, systems, library, soft skills, examinations, and all the entire faculty members, a sincere thank you to everyone. You are the engine room for this institution. Today, the ship sails smoothly because you have been running at the full steam for weeks. To our student volunteers, you are everywhere and you made everything look so effortless. Your energy, your hustle, and we will figure it out, the attitude, that's the real spirit of IBS. To the parents, guardians, friends, relatives, families here who are here, cheers for the invisible work, the fee paid on time, the calls answered at midnight, the faith when grades dipped, and the spirits did too. This degree has your fingerprints all over it. A heartfelt thank you to all who joined to celebrate this event and for supporting our students at every step of this journey. And now we are all here, the graduating class of 2026. A big round of applause to all of you. You made it throughout the classes and the kiosks, through the group projects that have tested your patience more than your concepts, the placements, rejections, and second chances, you earned this moment. At your step out, remember this, the world not only measures you by the CGPA, it will measure you by your character, your consistency, your courage when things get tough. So be resilient. When the door closes, look for a window. When the plan fails, rewrite. When doubts creep in, remember the version of you that refused to quit and to get here. I will close with a small note. Battles in life are not won by the strongest hands or the fastest feet. They are won by the mind that refuses to accept defeat. Believe in your ability to figure things out, and you will be surprised how often you do. Class of 2026, congratulations once again. Go out there, make mistakes, make memories, and most importantly, make a difference. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, ma'am. I request Jyoti madam to declare the convocation closed.
I declare the convocation closed.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise for the national anthem. Please be seated. As we bid farewell to the familiar and comfortable, we embrace a new chapter in our journey. Today, we part ways, but tomorrow, we reunite as proud alumni. Memories of this phase will forever be etched in our hearts, and we eagerly anticipate the adventures that lie ahead. People will come and people will part, leaving new memories inside every heart. Today, you will leave us with memories too, and these are our warmest wishes for you. May no wish be left unmet, and every dream come true.
Ladies and gentlemen, I request you all to rise and to remain standing till the convocation procession leaves the hall. All the guests, faculty members and staff are requested to proceed for lunch on the first floor.
दुश्मनों
All the graduating students and parents are requested to exit from their left. The students must submit their provisional certificates and collect their original certificates and yearbook from their respective registration counters. Lunch for all the graduating students and parents is arranged in the lobby area on the ground floor. The outgoing batch of 2026 are welcome to stay back and proceed towards the stage for group photographs.
Good luck and goodbye.